Hello. Welcome. Uh, so idea for tonight. I'm hoping to finish up the sword. Main thing is finishing up the sword. If I get to the next thing, then we'll work on the next thing for a little bit. But for the main thing, working on the sword, seeing how I feel after that, and then going from there. So here's what we're gonna do. Well, obviously, it's already been saved and everything. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go into the geometry nodes. Click on our scene selection here. And I know I just sort of like threw myself into this. We're gonna go to append, and we need to go to lazy nodes here. Collection, and then we are just going to select these three right here, right? And I think we just hit append, right? Yeah, we just go ahead and hit append, and so what we're gonna do is we're going here, we're gonna type in lazy, right? And here's all of our lazy node things. You'll see what this is supposed to do in just a minute. It's really cool. I wouldn't know how else to do this outside of through here. I'm sure that there is probably websites and stuff you can go to. I don't know how to make these, but regardless, technically speaking, this is a bit more of an advanced thing. Come on. Why can't I just shorten these? Whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to disable all three, actually. Not really disable, we're just going to hide them is what we're doing. Once we hide them, we're going to go ahead and just collapse all of these. It's just, all we're really doing right now is just kind of organizing it a little bit to make it look a little bit nicer. Once we do all that, it's probably gonna have a save again, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now because we literally didn't do anything. Click on effects. We are going to add a UV sphere mesh, which is gonna be this right here. See? Look at how meshy it looks. What we're gonna do with that is we're gonna go to this square box here. And we're gonna type in the X location, 0.03. In the Y location, we're gonna leave the same. And then in the Z location, we're gonna put in 0.5. Then the rotation, we're gonna leave it alone. And then for the scale, for the X and Y scale, whoopsies. For the X and Y scale, we're putting it in at 0.050. And on the Z, we're putting it as 0.2, and now we have it as this thing. You might be wondering what this is for. We'll get there in just a moment. Give me 1 second. It's gonna be really cool. I promise it's gonna be really cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rename sphere to an emitter sphere. Emitter sphere. All right. Then we are going to select the pommel. Then we are going to go ahead and go here. And then we're going to, right. Wait, let me just double check. We aren't, no, okay, yeah, no, it's just the select the thing. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna rename this pommel tip. Pommel tip. Then we're going to go to the guard and just name it as guard. Then what we're going to do is, well, we have the guard selected, right? And then select the guard. We're going to go ahead and right click. You're going to copy objects, select effects, and then you're going to paste the objects. Right in here in the effects thing. See? I'm hoping that this turns out okay. I don't think that was actually supposed to happen. Hold on. Let me just redo this again. So copy, paste. There we go. Okay, yeah. No, never mind. We're good. Okay. I'm overthinking things, which is why I'm just kind of like, what the hell? So what we're gonna do is we pasted the cube. Now we're gonna go ahead and rename the cube as emitter guard. Emitter guard. There we go. Let me just make sure that we're all... Yeah. There we go. Now we're gonna file save and file save as, file save as. Sorry, I lied, not save as, save incremental. That's what I wanted. It's late. Shush. So once we have, so what we're gonna do now is the emitter guard. We're going to select it. Going to edit mode. Select the face. Go into X-ray. And then what we're gonna do is that we are going to go ahead and delete faces. So what we're gonna do is X faces. There we go. Yeah, I think that's right. Wait, hold on, wait, I did the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. I think I did the wrong thing, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I did. It's supposed to be these. It's those ones that I'm supposed to go ahead and delete the faces on. That's why I was a little confused. There we go. Jesus, okay. So then we're gonna go ahead and disable the effects folder for now. Boom. I'll turn off X-ray. That doesn't look right. Did it duplicate the sword? Why did it do that? If that's the case, hold on. Delete that shit. This. Copy, paste. Right. I think it's doing something really dumb. There. I think that's what I wanted. Or maybe this. Let's see what happens. Right, let's just, because this should be, I don't know what this is selecting actually. Guard, it should be selecting this, but it's not selecting that, so I don't know what this is actually selecting. Oh, it's, why is it way out there? Okay, hold on. Clearly I messed up somehow, somewhere. So, okay. So now we're gonna copy, paste. Why does it keep doing that? Delete. It goes way over there. Why? What is happening? Hold on. I'm having technical difficulties. Hold on. Copy. Paste. I'm not pasting that. I'm wanting to do the guard. Oh wait, it's, oh, okay, I know what I did wrong. Okay, it's this guard. Okay, that makes sense now. It's this. This is what we name as the emitter guard. Okay. Right? Okay, I think I got it now. Okay, let me just hold on. I might have to go back a couple steps or whatever, because I definitely messed it up somehow, somewhere along the way. Okay. So now we have the emitter guard selected. That's what we wanted. That's why I was getting confused, because I didn't have the right thing selected. Okay. Then we go into edit mode. And then we do this. Select those. Delete faces. And then turn that off. Boom. That, I'm sure that's nothing. Well, hopefully it's nothing. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Now we can turn off the effects or disable the effect look. All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah. No, I think that's fine. Turn off X-ray. Okay. I think we're fine now. We eventually got there. We got where I needed to be. Save incremental. Okay, now we're gonna go into scene selection, and we're going to go ahead and add a cube. Right? The cube we're gonna name as lightning. Right. Don't worry, this is going to be dope as fuck. Right? So, have these selected. Zoom in on that shit. Then we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna like kind of space this out a little bit, just a tad bit, you know. And I moved that out, but like I lied, because we're actually gonna delete that shit. We don't need that shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're gonna shift A and I don't even know what we're looking for. Object info is what we're looking for. So shift A, search. We're gonna be looking for object info. That is what we're gonna want. Right? Now we're gonna type in here and type in emitter. Right? And we're gonna check. We're going to select the emitter sphere. Then we're gonna click on geometry and connect them both together. Boom! Look at that. Right? But just wait. Right? We go to relative. Right? And it just goes boom, done. It's this thing now. It's this, right? So here's what we're gonna do. Right, we're gonna have object info selected. You'll right click it and click on copy, and we're gonna right click and click on paste. Right, and we're gonna do that one more time. Just copy, paste. Okay. Zoom out just a little bit. Now what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to, like, we want to make this look neat, you know, just a little bit like that, like this. Yeah, because clearly, and like, you know, it doesn't really matter, like, you know, which one, because it's gonna be the same thing regardless of how you look at it, right? Anyway. So the top one needs to be pommel tip. The middle one we're gonna have as the guard. The emitter guard. I mean, I'm fully aware, but it's fine. And then the last one will be the emitter sphere, which I'm just gonna make sure that everything is right where it needs to be. There we go. So we have the pommel tip, emitter guard, and emitter sphere. Okay. Then we're going to join the geometries, right? We're going to join them all together. Just Here we go. Join. Look at that. It's an actual thing that we just select. Right? And then we're going to go ahead and do this. And do that instead. Okay? Okay. I don't know if it actually matters where they go, actually. Because that just kind of went there, and this one just curved like one above. Don't think it really matters. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one up here. Join. Select join geometry. Again. Right? And then just have this branch out to here. Right? Oops. There we go. So it looks like this now. Okay? So we have everything connecting all together. Everything is connected. Right? Now then, you might be wondering, well, nothing's happening. That's fine. Okay? We're going to get to that point. Just save, file, save incremental. Right? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new node. We're going to do Shift A. We're going to look for lazy. And we're going to look for the lazy noise. See, this is where it gets important. So what we're going to do is, while that is selected, we're just going to widen that out a little bit. And then we're going to make sure that it's selected. Then we are going to go ahead and copy and paste this bitch. Look at that. Then we're going to take this and go boink. Don't worry, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Hold on, I lied. No, it is okay. No, we're good. Never mind. So look at, you see things are happening here. It looks weird. Okay. I just had to zoom out. It just looked weird. So then we're going to go ahead and for the, oh, I'm realizing this looks different. Oh, okay, hold on. This is looking a little bit different than what I recall it looking like. Okay, I'm sure we got this. The amount, I think, is still the same. So the amount will still be set to 1. Or is it just maxed? It's weird because like it has amount. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is that it, okay, so I wasn't expecting such a different change. Okay, so yeah, no, 1. Okay. Oh, sorry, not 1. It's gonna be 0.8. My bad. Hold on. It's probably because I have the wrong thing selected. Maybe this is what I want. Hold on. They might have just messed up on here. Hold on. Either that or I messed up. Yeah, no, I'm the one who messed up. I'm sorry. Wait, no, wait. They definitely said to add lazy noise. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking it just has to do with with maybe like the updated version maybe. Okay, let's get rid of those two. And what we'll do is we'll use lazy lightning in this regard. So we'll do copy, paste, right? Then this goes here, that goes there. There we go. That's what we're looking at. Then the strand amount becomes 0.8. Okay. So that's where the confusion hit. I think it's just because the version, I think, is just weird like that. It definitely says add a lazy noise, unless if it's a typo, but I don't think it is. Because it's definitely supposed to be lazy lightning for sure. Actually, it might be a mistake on their end. It's fine. But it's lazy lightning. You choose that, and that's how we do our thing. Okay. We expanded it. We did a thing. We copied it. Hold on, I need to scroll back down. And move this over here. Then we want. Okay, so the strand amount, instead of being 1, is at 0.8, which is fine. Then the distribute density we want at 2000. So this one right here, we want at 2000. And it's okay because it's gonna disappear. Then we want the thickness to be 3.8. God, I hope it's supposed to be that way. And then the thickness seed we'll have at 44. And then, oh, sorry, that's a lie. Oh, wait, no, thickness seed. Oh, sorry, distribute seed is the next one, which that one, hold on. So thickness seed is 44. Okay, I just went to the wrong one. Distribute seed and thickness seed are two different things. And for this one, we want it at 100. There we go. Set the frame to 72. Oh, no. There we go, 72. Okay. You see that? Isn't that really cool? Just watch, it gets even cooler. So once you have it at 72, you're gonna go down back in here and go to minimum length. And we're gonna have it at 0.4 instead of 0.2. And then the strand length will be set to 40 instead of 50. And then the flicker speed will be set to 6 instead of 4. Okay. Oh wait, did you want me to set it up at, hold on. You know, okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set the end at 72. There we go. I think that's what I wanted me to say, but I don't know. And here's what, look at that shit. We got lightning on our sword now. How cool is that? But we're not done yet because we wanted to also hit our pommel as well. So that's what we're gonna go with now. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to, well, I'm gonna pause this shit now. So we're gonna go file, oopsies, save, file, save incremental. Then we're gonna go ahead and connect the pommel. So we're gonna go ahead and just go boom, and then go boom. Right? And then we're just gonna mess with these as well. So on the second one anyway, what we're gonna do is starting on the minimum length. It is at 0.2. It's gonna be 0.4. The strand amount, instead of 1,000, it's going to be 300 or 0.300, I should specify. And that should be relatively about it. And then we're gonna set the frame to 68. I can just do that, right? No. Okay, never mind. So 68. Then we're going to distribute the seed and density. So the seed is going to be 3 as opposed to with the 100. And the density is, oh wait, whoops, hold on. I did the wrong one. My bad. Distribute seed, it will be 3. And then the density is going to be 2,000. There we go. That's better. And there you go. Okay. But now we need thickness and thickness seed. So thickness is going to be set to 2. And the seed is going to be set to 14. There we go. And then the flicker speed will be set to 5. Fuck, I did the wrong thing. Damn it. I might have to go through this one more time, actually, real quick. Hold on. Just to be sure I did this correctly, because like I keep working on the wrong lazy node thing. So like, hold on. Let me just make sure that everything is a-okay. So we got lightning. Okay, once we connect the nodes, I'll go from there, right? Okay, so first things first, the strand amount is 0.8. The thickness was, oopsies. Hold on. Strand amount is 0.8. Then the distribute density is set to 2,000. Okay. Then the thickness was 3.8. Okay, yeah, no, that needs to be changed back up here. 3.8. I keep going back and forth between the two when I need to work on just the one. And I don't know why I keep doing that. It gets like swapped in my head, and for some reason I just like, you know, fuck up a lot. It's fine. Then the thickness seed is, that's 44. Then the distribute seed is 100, right? Distribute seed is 100. Yes. Also, let me just make sure that this is connected, so therefore I can actually see, make sure that it's working right. So the distribute seed is 100. Set this up to 72. And then we go ahead and change the minimum length to 0.4, right? Yeah, no, that's still 0.4. I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit on that. And this strand, like, what I should do is actually just zoom directly into that, actually. That might help out if I do that. And then strand length is 40. Then the flicker speed is 6. Okay. Right, and then we got, yes. Okay. Now that should be good for that. Now, I'm gonna just zoom into this one real quick, because I'm need to, okay. So then as this one is connected to there, this gets brought into here. So there. Now we have this one connected. Let me just make sure that I put these in correctly. Minimum length is 0.4. Yes. Strand mount is 0.3. Yes, I got that correct. Set it to frame 68. Okay. Then we're going to go to distribute seed, which is 3, with the distribute density as 2000. Okay. Set the frame to 6. Right there. Then we're going to change the thickness to 2. Okay, yeah, no, this has to be changed to 2. And the thickness seed to 14. So this is what I kind of think I definitely messed up earlier. And then the flicker speed is 5. Yes. Then we're going to go ahead and branch out, and we're going to do join geometry again. Whoopsies. That way we can join both of these at the same time, and then you get both the desired effects. As you can see, instead of just a blade now, we have both the pommel joining in as well. Is that not cool? I think it's cool. I like it. I think it's really cool. And only now that it actually kind of just clicked on how that worked. And I don't know why it took me so long to actually like understand that a little bit. Now, granted, will I actually remember half these names? Probably not. But it is really cool though. I love it. I think it looks awesome. All right, and I think if I were to change the view of this to something like this, this is what it looks like. I think it looks awesome. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, go back. We're going to file, save incremental. Admittedly, had a rough start, I'll admit. Animation. We're going to go ahead and select the camera. But I think I found my footing once, like, no, I got past the stuff. We're going to copy the camera and then go to, well, we're already in rendering, and we are going to paste the camera. So now we have two cameras. We have camera and camera one. We're going to do the second one camera one as camera animated. So camera animated. There we go. Then we're going to go while this one is selected, we're going to go to the triangle looking thing. We're going to go to where it says camera, make sure that says camera animated on it. Then we're going to want to make sure we adjust the viewport shading. So make sure that's on the solid white circle on both sides. Then we are going to set the frame, make sure, hold on. I think because this needs to be something else, actually. Because I want to make sure that this is correct. So what would that be? Timeline? I want to say it's this. This is what I'm going for. So I go here, 1. Camera animated. We're going to change the location of it. So what we are going to want, we're going to want this at 2. And down here, we're going to want at 1.3. And that's good so far. And we're going to lock them in place. There we go. Oh, sorry. I say we're lock them in place. We're inserting the keyframes is what we're doing. That's what we're doing. The keyframes are inserted here. Then we're gonna go here and click on 72. Go to the 72-second frame. And we're gonna change this to a 0. Move it down there. And then we're just gonna go ahead and select the keyframes for those as well. Because what essentially it's doing is that we selected the beginning keyframe and the end keyframe. So therefore, it will essentially sort of like there. Actually, that is exactly what it does. It just follows where the first key or the previous keyframe ones, where the next keyframe is. Okay. Once that is said and done, so now I need to select the keyframe. I think just like this one and that one. And then we're gonna do right click it. I think it's right click. Yeah. We're gonna choose interpolation mode and we're gonna choose linear. We're trying to have it be a bit slower. See? Before it was just kind of like going down faster. Now you can actually see it kind of like, taking its time, like, going a bit slower in its descent. Don't worry, it gets even cooler, right? Because this is how look. So this is what it's looking like so far. Hell yeah. I love it. I think that shit looks so cool. Okay, so once that's done, we're gonna file save incremental. Once that's done, I'm gonna go back to this so we're all on the same page still. This is, I think, just going through like, okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try setting everything up for a better res. So according to this, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna choose this, and then we're gonna change the PNG format, which is where is this located? I forget. This. We're gonna change it to FFmpeg. We're gonna go down to encoding and select this and make sure that we have H.264 and MP4 selected. And then in the video, make sure that we have high quality. We'll sing something up here first real quick. Which I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try following this. Okay, so 128. I just want to make sure. Essentially, so what it's explaining here is that if you have a slower computer, you may want to change your viewport to 32 instead of 128. And where it's set, and this is underneath the resolutions tab, the render tab. Sorry, right here. You want to make sure that your viewport samples is at 32 if you have a slower computer, 128 if you have a faster computer. For higher resolutions, you're going to want to go down to volumes, and for a slower resolution or a high resolution, sorry, you want a 1.4 resolution. For ultra res, you're going to want 1.2 resolution. Everything else is fine the way it is. That's what it's talking about. But we're going to stay in here for now. Let's see. So you have this all selected. We just don't have a location for you, which I'm gonna go ahead and choose a location now, actually. Well, because it would just be easier this way. And then we can do... Yeah, we're gonna make a new folder and we're just gonna name it Sword in the Stone Video. We'll just put it as That way we get both, like, because we're essentially doing two separate videos is what we're doing. So we're gonna do this video. It's going to be just the descent, and then the next one is going to be the camera zooming out. So, and you'll see. So what we're gonna do is first off, yeah, just the accept. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some fixes. So there's some things that we don't want to see, which actually we should probably, you can see it better in here. For example, right there. So we need to go into the geometry node tab section. So we're gonna go geometry node. From there, we need to select this, I think, actually. Yeah. Yes, okay, yeah. Now we're selecting the back wall, sorry. Selecting the wall of the cave. We're gonna go to, I think it is this one right here. Instance on points, because there isn't a whole lot on this one. And we're gonna change it to 1.6 on all the vertices things. So 1.6, boom. And that should have fixed everything, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I don't remember where we even were last time, I'm not gonna lie. Oh wait, weren't we on animation? Yeah. See? Now it's gone. We still got the relative shape, but now we don't have that hole in the wall anymore, which is kind of cool. But then we have, like, you know, actually, you know what? I don't think I really have that, but we're gonna fix it anyway. Essentially what it is that this rock, I think, is slightly up more than it needs to be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select that. It's not gonna show over here, but it's gonna show over here. You might actually be able to see it here. This is what I'm talking about right here. We're gonna make it look a little bit nicer. So we're just gonna go ahead and select the square here, the object, and we're going to change the dimensions or the location a little bit. So, like, for example, instead of 0.25 or 0.27, we're gonna make it 0.25. 0.25, and then make sure that all these are stayed the same at 1. All right, once that's done, we're gonna go back into that, and we're going to go ahead and render the animation. And this might take a minute depending on your computer. And also because we are doing it in 72 frames as well. Let's not also forget that either. So it's gonna take a minute. We're gonna let this thing render, do its thing. And it should be also being saved directly into the whatchamacallit, the folder I selected. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I said, the more complex the animation, the longer it's going to take. Hi, kitty. And I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to focus on mainly the sword tonight. Actually, once the sword's done, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. It's late night. I felt like streaming a little bit later. I took a nap earlier and I wanted to wake up a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and maybe we'll call it an early stream once everything's said and done. I'm finishing up the sword. That's guaranteed. Sword is getting finished up tonight. I don't want to work on it anymore. It's almost done though. It just takes a minute. Some people might be able to do this faster, and I'm sure that there are people who have a better PC than I do. I'm not saying I have a B7 machine or anything like that. It really is not. But when this is done, I'll show you what the final render for this is going to look like. But the reason it takes a while is just because it goes through like each frame. It goes through it like frame by frame. Okay. And then I think... Okay. I think it should be in my thing now. Let me just double check. Right. Here. Right. Then we go into the Sword in the Stone video. Boom, it's right here. Open it up. Hopefully you can see it. Boom, there it is. I think it looks pretty damn awesome, honestly, if you ask me. And we're not even finished up yet. We still have more to do. So, with that being said, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and save what we got. Save incremental. And then we are going to, okay, so this is gonna be different because I need to actually, go onto a website called mixamo.com. So give me 1 second. Mixamo.com. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. What? Mixamo. Maybe it's not .com. It is .com. I don't know how I spelled it, but apparently, whatever. I just gotta log in here for a minute because what I need is a walking animation. And although animation will be something that I will be learning later on in this course, actually, you know what? You right here. Oh wait, does this show me how I should go about doing this? Animations, download. Okay, yeah, no, you can just keep everything I believe as is. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm choosing the model, right? And I want a walking animation. A walking stop, I think specifically. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I want. And then let me just double check, make sure that everything is the way it needs to be for it. Right, FBX binary, yes. Wood skin, obviously. 30 frames. No keyframes. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and download that for a minute. Hell yeah. Once we got that, we're gonna go ahead and select the scene collection. We're going to file, import FBX. That. I think I actually wanted to download that thing. That one right there. Boom. We got our character, our armature. Then go to camera. We are going to copy the camera. And then we're going to paste that camera again. And then we're going to name it camera character. Whoopsies, camera character. All right, and then we're going to go down here. And we're going to go in here and select the camera character thing. And then we're going to select the armature. God damn, oh god, that's a lot of keyframes. Set the frame to 72. And we're going to move the character to 2.1, 1, negative 0.13. Then this is also going to be negative 60 degrees at 0.10. There we go. And then we're just going to go ahead and boom. And that's what we got. Which I think actually looks kind of sick. It adds a level of like atmosphere to it, like a little bit of intrigue. Like, who is this guy? All right. Then we're going to go ahead and file save incremental. Then we're going to select the camera character. I'll go to scene 1 just to make sure that's there. And we are going to click the yellow dots. So we're inserting the keyframe here. All right. Because we are moving, this is for the camera. Sorry, I drew a blank as to exactly what we're doing. We're moving the camera now. This is for the camera perspective. So we selected the camera. We set the keyframe being at the very first thing. Then we're gonna set it to the end frame, which is at 72. And then we're gonna put this at 4. And then we just insert the keyframe again. There we go. Then we're just gonna make sure, like, once these are both selected, right click, interpolation, make sure we have it at linear again. And then you're just gonna boom. And then what we're gonna do here is where you're going to save it again. Just in case. You can never save it too many times. And then we're going to go here. This is already set for where I want it to be saved at, so this is completely fine by me. But if you happen to be like trying to follow along to the best of your abilities, well, you can save to wherever you want. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go render. Oopsies. And we're going to render animation. And wait until the render's done. Hi kitty. And give me a minute. There we go. Okay, once this is done, I'm trying to think if there's anything else after that. After the render animation, we can view the animation when it's done, which is what I'm going to end up showing you. But I think that this shit's really cool. I love this shit. This shit's awesome. But I think that's about it, actually. I think this is about the end of the course. I'm trying to think if there's anything else after this. I mean, we'll see when this is done. I'm not going to continue the course just yet. I just want to finish up the render here. And then we're going to go from there. And of course, when you do this, every once in a while I'll come back to this and I'll just play around with different colors and try to get set up a different scene. But yeah, we have officially finished up 2 courses, actually. Yeah. This has been 2 courses. The first one we did was Minecraft. Then the second one we did was Sword in the Stone. The next one is going to be much longer. I might increase the length of the streams for that one. Just because of how much more goes into it. Because this next course is working on one thing, but separated into 3 courses. So it's a explain a little bit what it is. It's a alchemist table. So you have like a crystal ball, you have a bunch of books, you have like you have a bunch of different like things on it. But the first part of that course is creating everything, right? It's creating the scroll, the books, the everything. The next part is working on, oh wait, that finished? Oh yeah, finished. The next part is working on oh, and here's how it looks. So view animation. This is how it looks. Whoopsies. I'm sure it's fine. There it is. Okay. So once that's done, after that, the second part of the 3rd course. And yes, we are done. We are officially done. We have finished the Sword in the Stone project. But the next course is after creating your objects. My head. It's UV and shading. Here, hold on. I'm trying not to show this on stream, but I think this should be fine. So that's all done. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you what I've been using. So if you're ever interested, check out CG Fast Track. This is what I've been going through. You have to pay for their course. I waited for it went on sale for when I did mine. I have not regretted it since. But this is what you would be going through. We did these 2, right? And this is about a 4-hour course for a beginner. These 3 are what we're going to be working on next. So we got to make the as you can see in here, the candle holder, the crystal ball, as well as the stand that it goes on, the table there and everything like that. The next one will be UV and image projections. And then we got the final texturing and shading part of that. So it's separated into 3 courses. I might make my streams longer for that one. But with that being said, I'm going to move this over here now. But with that being said, I think I will call it a night there. We're not going to raid tonight. But I do appreciate everyone who stuck by, who hung out. And yeah, you guys are awesome, and I will see you guys all later. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna aim for 6:30 tomorrow. And I'm thinking either we work more on Blender or we play Resident Evil. So one of the 2 things is gonna happen tomorrow. Just be prepared. Maybe we can do both. I don't know. But for now, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for hanging out. And until then, I will see you all later. Bye.